All right, welcome back to another day of trying to reach 1500 Elo. Yesterday's games went pretty well, and we were sitting around 1380 last time we left. Today, well, unfortunately, you'll see I've dropped a bit in rating points. I'm back at 1344, I think. We'll see in a second here. But yeah, I was kind of hovering. I dropped a few playing last night. Just I played longer than I shouldn't have. I got tired. I was making some mistakes. Lost a few games in a row. It happens. But then I was trying to get some points back today in some games, and I was hovering around the 1360 mark, and unfortunately dropped a few even more after I lost a couple games on time. So I really hate losing on time, especially like when you're up, like when you should be winning. But yeah, that's the name of the game. All right, so as always, we're gonna get into the daily puzzle, and then we're gonna play three games with commentary. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. Today's puzzle, November 12th, is called Sacrificing the Opponent's Pieces. All right, so let's start by looking at checks and captures. That's the first one I see that could be interesting. Of course, I mean, we can say the queen can capture, the knight can also capture, the rook is also looking at a capture. The one that stands out to me the most are these two. I like the idea of this one with the idea that they can't take because then we have an attack on the rook. However, in this case, it doesn't work because they have the bishop on g7 guarding the rooks after takes. We may have to take back with the queen, but now we've kind of opened their rook after they maybe go here to defend. I don't really know if we have anything that we can. I mean, maybe we can then attack. Um, but regardless, this is defended. So even if they were to go this way, I think that's just avoiding the danger. And if we attack with the knight, I think in the end maybe we're up like three pawns and a piece. I don't know if that's the best that we can do. Let's keep that in mind. We may come back to that because I think that could be winning. I'm probably missing a move as to why it's not. But let's look at this. So, okay, if we play this move here, they can go to this square. And of course, this is guarded by the knight. So if then they go to this square, we can play a move like this, and then they have to continue on to this square. And then I don't really see any pattern. So because after we have check, we go here. We have check, but I mean they can play this move. I guess we could have this idea, like we go check. If they go here, maybe we could go here. They take, we take. I mean, I guess we'll be up a piece. So maybe that's not too bad. But what if they go here? Go here, they go there. And we go here. They take, we take. But I don't think that would work because we can kind of refute this idea with we go here, they move to this square, and then maybe we look at this. After takes, takes, they move here. Then what? I mean, you're no longer winning a piece. You're winning a couple pawns, but maybe that's not enough. So let's say they take here, we take back, we take here. Now the king runs off to this square. Uh, we can play this move, check. And then we can move back to this square. No, we can't, because if we don't play... Actually, yes, we can move to this square now, because it's guarded by the queen. So now we're up 3 pawns, I guess, for the compensation. I'm not sure that's right, but I'm going to give it a go. Just okay, that's not right. Now let's try our other move with the check here. No, neither one of those are right. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Maybe we take here first, and they have to take with the queen, giving us... All right, let's see what the hint says. The hint's to move the queen somewhere. Is it here? They take, we take, they can't take back? Okay, yeah, that was I guess I was looking for something a bit more involved, but sometimes they kind of stare at you. I should have seen this capture. Yeah, it's a nice little pin. They can't take. So yeah, I was going all about trying to figure it out. Okay, let's hope that we're able to see some of those tactics a bit more clearly while actually playing the game. All right, I feel like we always get people from Ireland every time we record these videos. Is chess very big in Ireland? Is that... Don't know if I have anyone from Ireland watching, but if I do, I'd be curious to know if you guys play a lot of chess. I don't know if there are any big tournaments in Ireland. Um, yeah, I've heard it's a beautiful country that I'd like to visit someday. All right, so kind of an odd opening that we're playing against. I mean, it may be accurate. It's odd to me. I don't see it very often. Oh, I've been completely playing. I've been playing as I played with black. I've been playing a King's Indian, so it's actually that would explain a lot as to why it seems weird. I'm gonna kind of try and transpose this as I can. Um, I guess this is the... I played knight to f3. I started out and then I just completely mixed up the colors, I guess. Yeah, I got to be mindful of my time. You guys have seen in a couple of my videos, I've gone into time trouble and we've lost a few games because of that. Really hoping we don't make these same errors, these same mistakes going too low in time. I'd like to try and keep it losses because of tactics, maybe rather than time. No, I'd actually rather lose at a time, but either way, I don't want to lose, so let's not lose. Okay, yeah. Again, I'm kind of in a weird position. At least it's one I'm not very used to playing. So I'm gonna play this just to try and develop this pawn on the c file, and we'll see how he responds. I'm making a threat on his bishop. I don't think he really has too. I mean, he can maybe go here, in which case I'm fine taking. But we'll just go here. We're creating a pawn island. It's a little bit less than ideal, but his pawn structure isn't great either with all these isolated pawns too, so it should be fine. That's not isolated, but that is, and this one is too. So we'll be very similar in pawn structure after a trade. And if he doesn't trade, then I think we're a little bit better. So I see a way to win a pawn, which is I take here. I don't know if I want to give up that bishop. It seems like a very strong bishop, to be honest with you. Don't want to give him the chance to close this really either, which could be a potential issue in the future. But I think I can take. Oh, and I have this bishop guarding, so even if he takes, we still have we'll take with the bishop next, and he probably will take, and then we can take here. And then even we're giving a threat on his rook, which is even nice because now he feels obligated to take, and if he doesn't, then well, if he doesn't, then that's fine. But now we've won a pawn. So we're doing pretty okay. We could even go a bit further and win this pawn as well. I'd say the only kind of maybe issue that we run into is that now we've traded off a very good bishop, and our knight's not really doing jack at the moment. So we need to we should find a way to try and activate this knight into doing something. I really like some sort of trade with take and take, but at the moment I need to find a place for my queen, and I'm thinking here because this has a checkmate threat that he, either could forget about, which is unlikely, but has to react to it. But I guess a move like this kind of stops it, doesn't it? And then we have to move over one more, and then he can play this. He can kind of threaten our queen that way, can he? Let's see, maybe moving back one is the best option because that doesn't give him the opportunity to really threaten our queen. That keeps the pressure on these two squares. Oh, but of course we can't do that either. I think we'll go here with the idea, then we'll go back here. And of course, if he just plays something like that, then we could even like push here. But I think if he plays that, then we'll take on that. Okay, or we could just blunder our queen. Okay. Let's not bore you guys with the rest of this game. Let's forget and move on. Yeah, I won't cut that one out, but that's really unfortunate. We'll play a fourth game today, just because of that game. It was all of like 5 minutes. So yeah, blunders happen at every level. Now we're back down to the 1335s. We were at 1380 when we started the day. It's maybe not the best day for chess, but I honestly haven't been playing too bad. That obviously was an awful game that you guys just witnessed. But earlier today, I wasn't playing too bad. I honestly felt like a lot of the games I was winning, and then time troubles came, which, yeah, it's part of it. But the tactics were there. I should look at playing 10-15s or 15-10s. Is that it? Okay, is it too early to push? I don't think so. I think especially now that we have this defender, if they take, we can take back. They can take, we can take, they can take. And I guess we don't really have any compensation to go here, right? Because we have takes, 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 takes. And then I guess I could play here with the idea that whatever they take with, I can just take back. I'm going to go and play rook to e8 just to avoid any of these complications, because now I think we're just up, or maybe it's equal. Yeah, I guess it's just equal at this point, but I do feel like our position hopefully will turn out to be quite good in this game. If he pushes, I don't know if I want to take or not. I think maybe I will, but it also betters his position. But after this move now, like it's not winning or losing, but I think we can kind of bully his queen a little bit, maybe. Yeah, we'll see what he does. We could even drop back because now he's blocked in his bishop. Can't move that pawn to threaten a move like that right away. So what I'm thinking is if we were to drop back, okay, he doesn't play it. He opens up the queens. I think I can go ahead and take, and then I'll put this rook here. We'll see what he does. And pre-move that if he decides to take. I don't think he... Well, my guess is we're going to see castles here, which I think may be the smart move to play. Okay, we don't. So I don't know if we have a choice, but really to take this. And I want to get this knight to attack here, but No, obviously we can't right away. So I'm going to play this move first. If he decides to take us, then great, we've added another defender. Um, and we'll be able to take this next. If he doesn't take this, then I think it's just a very good square for our knight. But he decides to take, so we're going to take with the rook, as we said before. Looking to play this move next. He doesn't have this move because we're protected. And as soon as we move this knight, this will be double protected with two defenders to his one attacker. So that will be a nice position to see. And then maybe we can just end up in the end game up a pawn, barring any extreme material loss, rapid loss of material, RLM. But now, see, I may be mistaken, but I kind of think I can double my rooks, and I don't really know how he's going to get out of it, losing at the very minimum one piece. Yeah, but see, even this, like, if I take here, he takes. Yeah, but I guess I can't because of. I think I'll go back. And now we're down a pawn in material. I played that pretty poorly, obviously. But now the castles is incorrect. Now we can take. And now we'll be up because now the king is gone. So that's okay. We've gotten the knight back. Um, okay, he takes. We're absolutely fine with simplifying a bit. I think that's going to make our lives easier in the long run. Yeah, I don't think that's the threat we need to be too worried about, especially now that I'm coming in with this. Let's see if we can't find a way to get this bishop off the board and then look at taking next. Obviously, you can come or something like that, but it would be. Okay, he decides to protect, and okay, and then he resigns. Sure. Okay, one win, one loss. Let's move on to the next. Now we're playing white, so let's not play the same opening that we played last time, just completely unprepared for. He's Fianchetto. He's playing a modern defense perk. He's playing a King's Indian setup, except he's already pushed his pawn to d5, which is a bit abnormal. Usually it's d6 with the idea of e5 or the c5. Pawn break is even okay, but I'm not too familiar with the c5 lines. I mean, I'm not that familiar with e5, but I have done some studies, looked into kind of how it can be done, the ideas of that line. I'm tired today, guys. I woke up early. But I think for how early I'm woken up, I do feel like we're playing pretty good. Back at 1344, if we did this, we'll be up into the 1350s again, which is always nice to see. Don't know. Okay, I was gonna say I don't know exactly how he plans to protect this pawn. He needs to be careful because we have discovered attacks if he's not paying attention. I'll go ahead and protect the. Let's just play here. I think this is probably a more accurate move. This is kind of odd to see people play like this move. It doesn't seem like a very great move to me, maybe the guy's a genius and he knows what he's doing. Um, I think he was worried about losing this pawn and was trying to hold on to it. And I don't see any immediate way to win it back, but I do think that we'll be getting it back in due time. I don't, you know, think we could probably even play like a move here, preparing for this. Um, I think our position is going to be winning. I think we're probably up a lot already right now, but we obviously don't want to blunder our queen, and we don't want to take too long in developing because if we take too long, then we risk having issues in the future. This could be a move. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's a move I need to think too much about. I think I can just take if he does this. And I'm already kind of gearing up to just take, or even here with the threat on the queen. It's always kind of nice to threaten the queen when you can, and kind of, again, he moved it very early, so the idea is to be able to hopefully kind of punish very early queen moves, and at the very least be up a pawn, right? But again, if he doesn't play this carefully, I mean, we could be up more potentially. Um, this is close to winning material. But we're missing like two defenders, or maybe only one because this move with the discovered attack and the attack on the queen is very powerful. Um, so okay, I think we can prepare this move so that we're ready for this. And after they can take, we can take back. They can take again, or they can take this way. But we'll have some discovered attacks that they need to be careful of. Um, we also need to be careful in this position. I really want to go here. Adding even one more attacker is very nice. I don't really see any issue of. Is that an issue? I think if he plays that, then we just drop back, and now we've opened up. Well, yeah, because this file will be open. This pawn wouldn't have pushed yet. Because what I'm calculating is goes here. He can try and kick us. We can go back. There aren't any immediate threats to the queen. Like he doesn't have any moves like next move. I mean, this could offer to trade, right? And that would be fine, I guess. But even then, I don't know if I want to trade right away. Some sort of in between move could be nice. So let's try that. Let's see if he lets us go here. And if he does that, then I know for sure we'll be winning a piece here. I think regardless with this discovered attack, we'll be winning some sort of material. And this also opens up this file too, where I could definitely see some sort of mistake coming in. We could even look at ideas of just kind of being, okay, he adds another defender, but do I want to go ahead and play this move? I'm almost wondering if I should play this move now. This is defended, so I'm not worried about. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and then I guess maybe the one thing is this move is no longer as forcing. Like nothing's forcing him to take it now, as compared to before when he had to take it or he was going to lose either the queen or the bishop. But now he's no longer forced to. Um, so we're gonna push it though and see how he reacts. And I have one, two, three. I guess only. Oh yeah, there's the fourth. I was like, where's the fourth? The knight on c3. Four defenders. He has one, two, three, four attackers, but four defenders. If they're capturing first, we'll get beaten by four attackers when the exchange is done. So he's probably calculating the exchange in his head. Is this correct? Like, if he takes, then I take, and then if he takes, then I take, and then if he takes, then I take, and then if he takes, then I take. Yeah, there's nowhere way he can get around winning this exchange. But the thing is, like he isn't forced to make this exchange either. Um, which yeah, that was kind of the issue that we are going to end up having since we can no longer force the exchange. But that's okay. I think now we can just target this area. Of course, we don't want to take with the queen because we'll make a similar mistake to the previous game. But I think we can put a little pressure on their queen. We'll see kind of how they react. If he tries to trade queens, I don't know if I want to or not. I feel like there's a better way to win material, but I don't really see it. We could just get the queens off the board, mess up his pawn structure a little bit. Um, Still have like a very strong attack going forward. Um, if I have to move the queen, I literally only have one square to move her, and it's here. And it's a less than ideal square because it's very hard. I'm not protecting much. The activity is kind of low. So I think in this case we should be fine taking. And then maybe we'll just play a simple move like rook to d8. Is there any reason I shouldn't play this? I don't see any. Um, I mean, I guess with the only thing is he could play this move. So we'll go ahead and play that. I think a4 is perfectly fine too. I don't see much issue with this. Just stopping any advances from the b pawn. Okay, he's going to threaten us. Probably a good move on his part. Um, see, where does my knight want to go after? I feel like after we can target this square, so let's go here first and then here. Again, the key to these knights is kind of like having the activity on their side of the board, right? So if I can get to this square, if I can get to this square or this square, um, we're doing good. It's good. So is there any reason I can't take actually? Um, oh, yeah, there would be a reason. After I go here, I can just take, and I don't really have anything in return. I think I'll just move back. We're down 50 seconds, so let's again try and play a little quicker on my moves. Like that move probably didn't need to be 30 seconds just to move one square. But I want to make sure we don't have any sort of winning ideas with this move here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, just because it looks funny, triple pawns. But also, like, that can't be good, right? He may technically be up a pawn, but is he really, though? I don't know. So, yeah, we'll just go in. I mean, I think now we can just look at trading pieces as much as possible. And then pushing at some point, like even here. Feel like we're just in a pretty solid position. These pawns aren't going anywhere anytime soon. It's the beauty of having double, tripled pawns. I mean, it just takes one piece and they're not doing much. I mean, obviously, you can say that in response they're controlling a lot of squares, but you will not convince me that that pawn structure is good or normal. So he has two attackers, but we have two defenders, the knight and the rook. So I think before we even want to trade, I think we might as well just play this and grab the free piece, the free pawn, and then we'll go back and then we'll trade. Or if he decides he wants to trade sooner, well, we will take his free rook. I don't think he'll do that. Yeah, we'll see. Position wise, I like our position a lot better. We're equal in material. He has double pawns. We have a little pawn island, although it's not an isolated pawn because we could eventually connect, but he's very well defended with 3 defenders right now. Yeah, okay, so he played this move, but I'm kind of trying to understand what's stopping us just from taking here. Either way, I feel like we could take him, we could be fine. But let's kind of go into this whole no need to double our pawns on the b file, and this is giving us another threat that now he has to respond to, and there's no good way to respond to this threat. Really, maybe like again, I mean it's a small threat, right? Like, but I don't know. It doesn't. If I was playing black, I would not like this position. Is how I'll put it. You even start looking at activating this piece. Okay, interesting choice. Um, chooses to trade off some material. Might have been a good choice for him. I'm not sure. Okay, so now pawn is important. We don't actually just want to give him this piece. Start looking at moves like this and maybe getting the bishop active elsewhere. Or maybe even a move like this isn't so bad. He's threatening this, but not really. Just trying to think how we can maybe keep this knight at bay a little bit. So we can go here, here, but now we can't take back, so it's no good. I don't know. I like this. I think we'll just restrict his movement a little bit. I'm not too worried about having the pawn structure in front of my king anymore, because like we only have like these pieces on the board, the rooks, opposite colored bishops, and 2 knights on the board. I don't really foresee there being too much of a like issue. And even this, and now my knight it's a very strong knight, but it can never be targeted by his bishop. And I don't know how he's going to get any pawns or any pieces really in here to target it in the first place. So yeah, I think we're doing quite okay on that. Um, Even a move like this, simply even removing this. Now, of course, the knight is no longer defending, so this becomes a threat potentially in the future. Like, say, if he were to play this move, we can no longer just play that without at least considering the fact that this rook could take. But at the moment, we're in a very similar situation anyway, so I'm not too sure if it makes a huge difference. Yeah, so he plays there. I don't think there's any reason we shouldn't take, other than the fact that it's maybe giving him a slight advantageous position. Um, so yeah, maybe we'll play this move first, and I think it might be a bit better to have kind of a castle-like pawn structure as opposed to double pawns. I mean, other than that, it's defended. His knight's not really doing a whole lot here. Now, if he plays this move, now we might want to look at takes because he might be winning a pawn in this scenario, but he doesn't. He takes our knight, so we have a very easy take back. That's nice too because look at our time differences now. Now we're the ones with the time advantage, and it's simply because too when they play a move like that, it's very easy to you don't have to think too much about it. Trying to see. I guess he's trying to. Yeah, he's definitely trying to move his bishop here to attack. Okay, we just lost a pawn in the process. Let's not lose another. Let's not lose another. But regardless, I still like our position better. I think this pawn is probably going to get pushed up here very soon. I didn't want to lose this guy. I felt like he was kind of a. Actually, I shouldn't have been too worried about that because now it's defended by this pawn. If he wants to take, that's okay. It's going to give him a nice open file, though, which is the downside, but he shouldn't have too much. too much counterplay. It is some counterplay though, so some is obviously better than none for him. So but yeah, I don't know why I was so worried about the bishop coming to d2. I forgot that this was a protector. Didn't really need to worry about any of it. Um, so yeah, not too sure what his goal is here. I really don't know what he's trying on this side of the board. Um, you can kind of push around his bishop a little bit. He may throw in a check here. He doesn't. His king's now tied to defending this bishop at the moment. So his king can't go anywhere immediately. Not that it could anyway. Yeah, I'm really a little bit confused as to what his goal was. If he comes here, I mean, we can just block. And I'm fine with the trade. This is a very strong pawn structure. He's not getting in anytime soon. Um, Opposite color bishops will be able to push this. The main important piece is actually to get this king activity up and going, but I think we're probably going to win on time anyway. And with these doubled pawns, even though technically we have like equal, I think this outside pawn is a lot more of a threat than any of his pawns. And yeah, I mean, he's just in time trouble. He has to find good moves, but we'll take it. We'll take the win. We lost a few to time trouble, and it's always better to win a few in time trouble than lose a few. So yeah, unfortunate for him, but I also do think that eventually we could hopefully convert this position. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure what he's doing. Part of the thing is like I don't really want to give up this, right? Because if I go here, then that allows any sort of like trickery there. But I think after here and here, we're like just fine, and now we can actually, now that he's no longer on this diagonal, we can play that. We can give him a little check. It's kind of a little cheeky trick. Whenever they're low on time, a check makes them like if they had a move pre-move, they're kind of like, wait, what, and have to redo it. So um, yeah, we don't need to just one more time. Okay, let's review that game real quick, and then we'll get into game. We'll call it game number 2 because of yeah, the slight error. So White actually, there were a few times we had some missed wins, but yeah, it says we played okay. Um, these are all book moves, and then this is a good move. That's good. C3 is excellent. We want excellent moves. Good moves are fine, but best or excellent is always a lot better. This is slight inaccuracy. It prefers us to go ahead and uh, bring the action and to attack the queen. The queen should go back to d7, and we can now take, which is the idea. But I liked the tactic that we found. It might have been a bit slow, and I want to see in this position. I was considering takes, although they're just up the pawn actually in this exchange. So it's a good thing that we didn't because after, okay, well, so that would have been a blunder. If they play takes with knight, we can play takes with the knight. And that's a mistake because they can take here, but like we also could take there. And if they take with the queen, ooh yeah, if they take with the queen now, they're just up a piece. Um, Obviously they had to see that they had to take with this piece with the rook, which I'm not sure they would have at my level. This seems like a much more ideal move. And now this g5 move is very it's given a great move. Again, forcing the queen to move like here, but now she can't take back unless he wants to play without a queen. So yeah, kind of an interesting line, but it didn't like d5. Um, and knight g5 actually is best, uh, and then d5. It didn't like d5 and this, so we were correct in playing this move first in the game. So yeah, this is a mistake. Um, it's a mistake because it eventually allows the exchange of the queens, and then I think they're just up a pawn. But if we continue down this line, eventually we'll be getting. Let's see, I believe we'll be getting pawn back. If we continue down the line of bishop to c8, that's a crazy move. That's not what it wants us to do. Sorry, it doesn't want this move. It wants a3, bishop to c8, and it's a miss actually for them. And now we have b5, and it's the game's actually quite equal, but it gives this a mistake because after queen to b6, like we had in the game, we have takes, takes, and now even though they do have the doubled pawns, we have a4, which I think that those are all the best moves actually. So this line is what we played in the game. Always kind of interesting to see. But yeah, now they're just up a pawn. For me, I felt pretty good that like there wouldn't really be an issue. What I mean is that like I felt like these doubled pawns we will definitely be able to get one, if not both, back. He has like four kind of pawns. If this pawn was not here, it would be kind of like a weird square. But yeah, anyway, g5 is inaccurate from him. Bishop to e5 was the better move, just to play the bishop onto this. But it's a slight inaccuracy. It drops us like zero point 0.8 to zero point 0.8 from 0.2 to zero point 0.8, so by 0.6. But we gain it right back after he plays this inaccuracy, takes his best. Now he has tripled pawns. The engine still gives him a 0.5 advantage. But of course, at my level, that means absolutely nothing. That's fine. This is a blunder. This is a missed. It wants d6. It wants d6. That's a very interesting move because after it takes, now we can take here. And if they block, then I guess we're winning with. Oh, it's not even that. It wants takes with. Oh yeah, of course we can take with the rook or the bishop. Sorry, we can take the rook with our bishop. Very interesting. So that wasn't on my radar. It probably should have been. That we can just push, but if they take here, then we have. Then we still take. That's I guess the idea is that we're uncovering this threat, and they can't really ignore that pawn push. It's all fine after this exchange. There's a miss. Rook to a7 would have been better. So putting on the 7th file. Again, rooks love the 2nd and 7th file. So whenever you can get them onto those, you're good. But it prefers that. But it still says that we're slightly winning. Still slightly winning. It says this is a great move. This was a mistake. I didn't need to be worried about this. We were up slightly before. I was worried about like goes here, but it wants us actually to push it d6, and after they take here, then we just play d7. They can play they can play e6. Actually, it's actually the only move they can play. Let's see if they didn't. If they played, I don't know. Let's say they played a7. Well, maybe not a7. Sorry. Um, just say they played this move. Yes, it allows for. Now we can take here. Sorry, actually, we take with the b pawn, and we're just 2 pawns up and very close to promoting. So the only move that works is e6, but I don't know if we would have seen that in game. So yeah, it's the computer gives us exactly equal in this position in the end game. Oh, and this was a miss. What should we have done differently? Uh, it's a mistake because now we have d6. So now it wants us to push this. With the idea that if they take, I think we have like mate in 10 is what it's saying. Mate in 16 if they play the best. And yeah, actually, so they cannot take. They have to play c6. They have to push the pawn. Um, so we're just giving that an inaccuracy, but it shows that the best response. No, e5, e5. Bishop to e5. That's the best response. Wow, that's super surprising. Now after takes, they have takes with check. We can take, and I don't see how we aren't winning this game. I mean, I definitely think there's no way for them to really do anything about that. So anyway, we have a couple missed wins just because we could have pushed that d6 pawn. Um, and this is just a blunder because now they have a5 and we have d6 check. They can take. We play d5. They play d8. Now we have to move. Actually, it even wants us just to go ahead and take on. Queen takes on d6. They take here. We take on c5, and I guess we try and push the pawns, but the computer has it at about equal. Um, so kind of an interesting variation on that. Um, in the game, he runs out of time uh, on this move. This move. But it could have continued like that if they had found bishop back to a5. Why this was a blunder is because it allows for f5, uh, queen, or sorry, bishop to a7, d6 check. They can take. We have d5, and I think the idea is we're getting our king here, and like they're gonna have a very hard time. Now it wants bishop to g4. Anyway, if they play like here, we just play c6, and I think we're at the very least going to be winning a bishop, if not taking all of his stuff. So yeah, good game. I don't think we played it too bad. I don't think they played too bad either, to be honest with you. Computer gives us 73% and them a 75. They actually play better than us, but ultimately we stuck it out one. All right, let's get on to game number two. It's actually game number three, but that first game a little bit iffy. Okay, so now we can play the King's Indian without thinking too much about it. Um, I'm going to hop these out. Now I'll hop this out. And we'll castle. And I think if they play this, we look very similar to the King's Indian main line. Yeah, that you can't see it, but the computer is giving us the normal variation. King's Indian. This is a bit abnormal. I'm not super used to pushing already. But I think I can play this, and we'll just see what happens if he takes something. So again, we can take here, he can take here, we can take there. They'll take us back, but we'll win the knight back this way. So not too worried about it. Okay, he wants to pin our knight, but we're gonna stop that right now and tell him either you take it and you give us access to this, or we'll just push up a little bit. Sometimes they like to sacrifice on there. I think that's a mistake on their part. But hey, we'll take it where we can get it. um, so yeah. I think e8 is good here. I think this could be a decent move. And this might be what I play. Just to get the bishop developed. Go ahead and like start connecting stuff. Um, Part of me wants to take when they take, but I'm just gonna push the pawn. It's kind of goofy, but I yeah, I don't know. I can't really because I just think it's kind of goofy. We'll see if it works out for us. I'm not too worried about the queen in there. Should I be? Yeah, I should be a little bit cautious. I think but a move like this. Now we're quite well defended. I'm going to play this move, just backing this up with some defense. It'd be interesting to see like a sacrifice might could be actually pretty dangerous for us, and it wouldn't even be a sacrifice because um, after takes we could take this way. Yeah. Okay, he castles opposite side. So now we really need to be kind of aware. I think if we can get rid of the queen, I think our position will just be very like kind of closed off on the king side, and we'll get some activity over here. He doesn't want to trade. I don't blame him. That's kind of our. He has a lot more threat than we do at the moment. Let's see, what's the best way to go about this? Don't like the fact that the king has no escape squares. He doesn't have any. I think I can play here, and then I can look at going to this, or even here, and looking at this sort of move. Um, Obviously, we don't want to take right now. I'm going to play h8. It's preparing this move, but also allowing the rook to get in onto the g file, protecting everything. So, yeah, I can't play that move right away. No, I can't. I have to play here first, and then I play here. And unfortunately, I didn't see that move earlier. If I had played g7, we wouldn't have had the pawn taken. He has to be very careful. It could be a pin. Um, he has to be careful. I foresee a move like that. Okay, he doesn't play that move. But I think here's okay. Yeah. Um, I think we just go to h8. Yeah. Thought he was gonna take. I forgot that you can push. Um, ay, ay, ay. All right, we're in trouble here, guys. Not gonna lie. At the very minimum, he's probably winning this piece, and I think maybe then kind of the attack will stop, and we'll see if we can get him back with some tactics a bit later. But we'll have to go back and look at that. That was very sharp, and maybe we should have taken more time. Now that we're already a minute down, he's playing quicker than us for sure. Interesting. Yeah, opts not even to take. I think we'll just play here, get rid of kind of his attacking piece, and then look at maybe if we can't like find something on this side of the board. Yeah, he's unrelenting, um, being a real pain in the ass. And I can't even play over here. Fuck you. I'm gonna go here, and it's the only square really I can go to develop my knight. I played that one quite poorly. Even in the beginning, I think I said like I'm not super aware of like when they push a bit earlier, I guess, but whatever. Um, don't even. Have like no good squares to go to for any of my pieces. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Um, it's not doing me anything. I'm just kind of at a loss of what to do. This move is going to be coming in the very near future. I don't know how we can hang on to any of our pieces. Um, and maybe I just made it easy for him if he played this so like well though. Give a little bit of space. And let's checkmate. We had one blunder and he just completely obliterated us. He played that at 89.8% accuracy. We played at 78.6. We got creamed. He absolutely destroyed us. Let's see where our blunder was. These are all good. This is a great move. It likes this move a lot, even though it puts us at losing due to, I guess, like an inaccuracy. I don't know. Either this guy knows the line very well. Maybe it was easy to play for white. This was a mistake. I should have played this move, which I eventually do. Going here is the best move. I mean, this was a mistake. Um, Here we're a little bit okay, but we need to play knight b to d7. We need to play here, activating the knight. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. But he played a good game. I don't know if he always plays that precise or if he just had a really really good game. Um, but yeah, not much else to say. All right, let's get into the last one. Hopefully this one turns out a little bit better than the previous. So now we're playing with white. Um, see what happens. As soon as he brings that bishop out, this is when we play the g2 move. But before then, there's no rush. We can develop in the center a little bit without too much stress. Okay, he takes. So now what the idea is, if when we take, we pin this knight, and we're just going to take back. He can't really defend this anyway. This kind of works, but he doesn't play it. But I think in the end, you're not going to keep that the whole time. That check is fine. We really don't mind it because it's honestly helping. Two, in some of the variations, this is actually where you want the knight because you want to push that e4 pawn break is the idea, breaking with e4, and you can support it with either having the queen on c2 or the knight on d2, supporting here as well as there. But I haven't really gotten to that structure in particular in quite some time. Even though it's the idea, I'm sure if people know theory, maybe then they know to play that. But like obviously, I don't know all the theory either, so um, could use for opening. I don't know. Like openings are one of these things that people say to study, 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 and they're absolutely right. You should, but the thing I always like run into is at my level, it's very rare that I get the actual opening that I study for, and I'm sure a lot of you guys around this level can relate. So knowing where to take advantage of when they go off script can be really helpful. Which is like using Opening Explorer, even just kind of looking at some of your games where you had like a person play kind of a weird um, thing. So I guess he's just winning the pawn here, but I'm going to be winning it back. I think I'll play here because I feel like this might have some sort of supporting role in the future. Maybe I want to take with this even. Um, okay, interesting choice. It's not what I was expecting. But now, let's see, is there a way to block with another piece? I don't think. Maybe we could play here, kind of doing the same thing that he's doing to us. I'm not going to trade you, but I feel like we can block you, and that's okay for us, especially if he wants to take the trade. I don't think he will, but it would be a good trade for us. Our queen is blocking at least three squares of the knight. You can't go to this fourth one, so the knight really only can move back, and I guess that's a good sign because at the moment we'll go here. Maybe we can even play d1 first, kind of enforcing that pin a little bit if he's not careful. We may lose it, but I mean this threat is kind of empty at the moment, other than just to like make him go back to a square and kind of undevelop a piece. Um, so he's gotten out of any sort of pinning ideas, but I don't really see any good. There's no good way. He'll probably come in and take this out. He's probably going to go takes, 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 and maybe we could play takes. They play takes. I think we're going to put. So yeah, his idea is probably to get back this piece. Um, this is an interesting move, but I don't really want to open the queen side if he does something crazy, like taking with the knight. Like I feel like our structure may be too weak, and he may have compensation in that form. I could look at like this move, and then like after they take. No, I don't like that because I don't really have a solid plan for after that. I mean, I guess with that, after they take back, I could look at this move, but I mean, our knight's hanging, so we have to find a good place for the knight, and we're going to be losing this piece. So I think what we need to calculate is takes. No, he can't actually take that. I don't know if because we're guarded. So I don't actually think we need to calculate this, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Because if he takes, we just take back. Um, but if his idea was to take, then to take, and then to take, we have this. Sorry, that cut out mid sentence. But yeah, I think the idea is actually if we look at takes, we can take back. Yeah, I'm fine with this. And ultimately, we'll have this move, which is going to be okay. He takes there first, but I don't think it changes too much in terms of what we're hoping to achieve. We'll be winning. We'll be winning a pawn back. We'll be putting a threat on the queen, and we'll be targeting another pawn. Of course, I mean they're gonna have like counterplay ideas, like you can just go here, you know, threatening our rook, and now we have to move the rook someplace safe. I think it's best to double up on this file, um, and if he doesn't make a move, I don't really want to give that up just by doing that. Okay, he does. So threat levels, it's kind of doing in between move. It's more valuable. A queen than a rook, so I can play this move. He can play a check, but I mean, obviously this would be a mistake. These two don't really bother me. I'll just move back, and he still can't take because we're looking here. So it's kind of an in-between move just to see where he's going to put his queen first before I decide to move my rooks. Um, right now, I'm looking at the 7th rank. This would be a very happy rook on the 7th rank. And if I could even get my other rook in, all the better. And oh, interesting. Yeah, we didn't calculate that, but we should have. That was a mistake because now he's going to be gaining all of his material back in his upper rook. Okay, not been playing. Not been playing the best chess today. That's for sure. Um, better not to follow up two mistakes with, or one mistake with two, I guess. But rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate. But that was an obvious calculation. Like, definitely should have seen that. So yeah, maybe having a bit of an off day today. We had a good day yesterday, so can't all be bad. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is a very kind of just losing position. There's not too much to really do. Unfortunately, if he now has this move, and I don't really have a choice anymore. Um, yeah. All right, guys. I'm not gonna make you suffer through an end game. So anyway, this one's a bit of a bummer compared to yesterday's game. Yeah, I mean, we just missed that tactic. He found it, but I think we were doing quite good up until then. Played with 82.8% accuracy. He played with 93% accuracy. That's very high. But we only had three inaccuracies beforehand, and just the blunder. I mean, that's simply. Oh wait, hold up. No, I didn't mean to start a new one. um, I can abort. So yeah, just a bit unfortunate. Let me find the game so that we can go over it real quick. Just a bit unfortunate with that one blunder. Um, book moves. It's a best move on his part. These are all good moves. Fine, fine. Nothing really too crazy. A little inaccuracy moving the queen back there. He plays the best move. We take. That's the best move. Is just to take there. Um, he doesn't have a huge advantage, but yeah, this one again we just completely missed the tactic that after we play here, now he has this move, and I mean we can't take because he's just taking our queen. Um, and maybe that would have been the better variation, but he's up a rook and has a passed pawn in game. There's no way I'm winning this, but there's also like very hard to win in this position anyway. So um, yeah, tough luck. This it could have been avoided. This move would have been good and would have given us equal play. We were pretty equal up until then. So yeah, and I even mentioned like wanting to put on the 2nd and 7th. Just the move order was I was worried about protecting here, wanting to protect the e, put a threat on the queen, and in between move. But unfortunately, he can also make an in between move that now puts us in a greater threat and took a one our piece. So, yep. All right. Well, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed these games. Um, not my best chess. If you want to see better chess, go watch yesterday's video. And I'll try and improve that rating a little bit for tomorrow so that we're getting closer each day. Yep. Thanks for watching.